What is up, my little Deinos? Vepsis, your coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are back for the UBL Season 5 Week 3 battle when we go up against Crimson CBAD and his Detroit Steelwings. And I'm really excited for this battle because I remember in good old days when I watched him in the GBA and throughout the generations he has been part of single draft league. So it's a really cool opportunity for myself, get the chance him to play on draft league format for the first time. So any further ado, just make sure to check out the matchup in itself. Down below in the description I leave team pages for each of our teams so you can compare to the rosters if you're interested to looking more depth into that. But now let's go and see what CBAD is gonna be bringing versus us. It's a quite scary matchup for sure, and this won't be no means necessary easy time, at least I would expect it not to be. So we do see the Axelgo, Gigalith, Exochill, Tangela, Crimsnow, and the Hydreigons. So with seeing that Axelgo already, I know my lead will be Sentiscorps, because he did bring potential spikes and I don't have a remover on this team. So I could see him leading up with that thing. And him getting up spikes will be a little bit annoying for this team. I knew going into this, if he brings that, it's going to be annoying, but I had to prioritize to prepare for some other things like Toxicity, which he chose to not to bring, which is a smart choice by him in that sense. But looking at this point, like the scary threat will be Bulk Up Crimsnow. Exochill, if it's Sand Force, is gonna be scary, but I would expect it to be Sand Rush over Sand Force, so he has speed control over this Aurora, especially if the Axelgo is dedicated as a suicide lead. But I was sticking with this lead with my Sentiscorps. Try to deter the Axelgo as much as possible, at least killing it. He can at most get up 2 laser spikes, which would be annoying, but we'll see. We'll see how this is gonna be going. Good luck and have fun to CBAD, and hopefully we're gonna be having nice close and clean battle going into this. So as I said, I do expect the Axelgo to be his lead, purely because of the fact I didn't bring any of my defocers. So I will think if that's his game plan, he's gonna follow through it. And let's see what he leads. He leads on with Sean, which is going to be the Hydreigon. Okay, interesting choice as a lead. So not the one that I was expecting necessarily to be in front of me. Now, I do have Will-O-Wisp if I want to get this thing burned, which I would like to get off, to be honest. So I think I'll go for the Will-O-Wisp, get this thing burned so it's a less annoying to me later on the battle. And I do land the Will-O-Wisp, which is nice, so there's gonna be some residual damage on this Hydreigon, and I don't fear him going for any kind of status, even Claire, because I do have Sleep Talk on this thing, so I'm not too concerned about this. And we get up the burn on him, so this is gonna be starting racking up on him. So now what I could do is that I go into my Slow Pro, I get a slow teleport off. Yet again, that thing also has Sleep Talk on it, purely because I expect him to bring statuses like Toxic on Gigalith and such. So I will do this play. I get a slow teleport, as he's gonna be revealing Stealth Rocks on this thing as well. So from here, I'm gonna be going for the slow teleport, I think. Just to gonna make sure that what else you would go into the Tangela potentially, or you go for the Glare. So I go for the teleport. We can this time further and further along, and we proceed from there. I'm actually not sure that who I should go into next. I could go into my RUNERIGUS, because he doesn't have such a big importance in this matchup due to the fact that he didn't bring the Toxicity. So it's going to be that or Rose Raid, but I think because he's still relatively healthy, I'm gonna go into my RUNERIGUS and proceed from there. And I can go for like Poltergeist, for example, on a following turn, and kind of see what item this would be running, because I haven't knocked off anything with this. Then I don't expect this to be no item, purely for Poltergeist attack. So I'm gonna be going for that just to see what he would swap in and get to intel their item. He does go for the Titan, so he expected hazards from my side, but I'm a Southwest set for that. So he is Rocky Helmet. Okay, good to know. So he is the standard defensive set. with Rocky Helmet, and we weaken it down quite nicely on this turn, so that's pretty nice. And I think I can go for the similar attack once again. Yeah, I think I'll do the same thing. I would expect the Tangela to swap in on me, or he chooses to stay in and let this thing go down. That's perfectly fine by me as well. And we do actually gain the rough skin thanks to ability, so following turn, if he chooses to attack me, he's gonna get chipped by that as well, which is pretty cool, thanks to ability in itself. And he's gonna live that one more hit, so he should be going down to this hit on a following turn. And I think at this point, I'll just go for the Poltergeist again. I don't... Like, even if I miss, he should die on this following turn. He does go for the Glare, so he's able to paralyze half of my team, but in fairness, the two things that I have paralyzed have Restock on it. The Centiscots could use a way to get rid of it eventually on this, because I do want it to outspeed the Crimsnar as well. So hopefully I can get that opportunity to get up a rest, but I cannot do it until I have taken actual damage with it. So that's gonna be a little bit annoying, but I do also have Flame Body on it from the Crimsnar, because Bulk Up Crimsnar is probably one of the biggest threats that I saw him having potentially, besides the Sandras Extra and the Lysarok, which he also possessed, and the Axelgor with spikes. Those are the things that I worried the most, as he does go into the Tangela. So I expect him to go for the knockoff here, in all fairness. And I could just go into my Rose Raid. He could... Do I need my Assault Vest on this battle? I don't really need it, so I'm okay him knocking this off. I'm perfectly fine with that, and I then get a big damage on something, and I keep this thing around if I need to utilize it as a pivot over something else in this battle. But I expect him to go for the knockoff, because yeah, he knows that I had the Rose Raid in the back, and sees that I am indeed Assault Vest on this thing. Now, who do you actually switching on this thing? Potentially Exotrill, but like, that's not the biggest deal in the world to me. I could also go for the Giga Drain. Actually, let me take a time on this. I think I'll go for the Sludge Bomb. Like, he has a poison immunity in Exotrill, but I could see also the Axelgor try to pivot on me instead. Ed, who is Ed? It is the Exotrill, so I could have tried to predict this, but I chose not to. And now I just go into my Slow Pro and get up my Teleport. I don't mind this. He could do a double here. And based on this, if he did the double, I know my Rose Raid outspeeds this thing naturally. The other option is that he just chooses to stay in. As he does go for the Earthquake. Let's see how much this does. That didn't do all too much to me, so that's pretty nice. And now I go for the Teleport, I think. I don't think he should stay in. I could also Heart Swap not to risk a paralyzation. And he would go into the Tangela. I think I'll make the double. I expect the Tangela to show up, as he does swap out on this turn. And he goes into Jimmy, which is going to be the Tangela. So I get this one right on this time around, and I get to go into my Rose Raid on this turn. So now I could try to go for the Giga Drain this time around, just to gain some health. And that's probably what I'm gonna be doing, so I get some damage on the Exotrill that way. Now he could try to do a different swap this time around into Axelgor, for example. But this Tangela should not be threatening me at any kind of moves at this point of time. So he does swap out. Do we see the Ed again? No, we see someone else. We see the Gigalith. Okay, he used this thing as a poison resist, but I did go for the Giga Drain, so this will be doing decent chunk. Now if he's specially defensive, he will eat this, but any damage is good on this Gigalith, so I'll take it for sure. Oh, we do a lot of damage. Was this a critical hit? No, that was just a natural damage. Okay, that is very good damage. Very good damage that I'll take. And I think I'll just go for the Giga Drain again. This Rose Raid is a huge threat to him. I wanted to bring more of an offensive set, and I still am with Modest Nature. As you can tell, I do a lot of damage to everything. He does swap out, and he goes into the Crimsonal. Okay, I'll take this as well. I'll definitely take this as well, cause now I can slot spawn on a foreign turn. He could try to pivot around this thing, but with the sand damage I can tell that I'm faster, so he's not really fast with this thing. Obviously with Prankster he will outspeed me, but do I wanna Giga Drain again? I could Giga Drain again, and I think I will do that. I think he's gonna swap out. He does swap. I think the extra chill will come in. There's the Ed. Okay, we call that one out. So we get some damage on extra chill, which is massive for me. And we are back at full health. That is solid amount of damage. That is criticals of 2 at KO, which I do like. How many turns of sand we have seen thus far? 2 out of 5. Okay, so now we're just going to slow pro, I believe, because it's at full health. We go into that and proceed from there. He does swap out. He does expect the slow pro, and he does go into the Axel go. Okay, good play by him. Good play by him. He might have worried about the earthquake not killing me, so he might be trying to go for the spikes. But I actually take this opportunity to go into my Send Discords, because I should be taking the Sand Chip, which allows me to go for the rest later on in the battle. I don't necessarily need to go for it yet, but it gives me that option if I need to rest up versus the Crimsonal. If it's going to be a bulk upset, I can manage with it. He does go for the U-turn. Do I get a Flame Body on this? That would be funny if I do. We don't get that, so we don't reveal anything on that regard, that if we have Flame Body or not. And him going for the U-turn was interesting, because I would have thought he would have gone for the spikes if he had them. But I'll definitely take this. Now he does go into this, which I'm okay by. And I can pretty much just go back into my slow pro here. I can go into my slow pro and I get a slow teleport off from there. And see what he does. We are fully physically defensive. He does go for the Rock Blast, which is gonna be doing a decent amount of damage, but okay, he got only 2 hits. So that's unfortunate for him. That is definitely unfortunate. Now I go for the slow teleport. And proceed from there. He does go for the throat chop. Interesting. Do we get the teleport off? We do get the teleport off. Good. Good. And now what I think I will do, I go into my Diggersby. I will go into my Diggersby, and in all fairness, I think I'll just U-turn on this. If he stays in, I go back into the slow pro. So that should be okay by me. So we go for the U-turn. We should do a shitload to the Tangela, even with the Eviolite. And I could see, yeah, that's Shimmy. I think that was the Tangela. Yeah, that's the Tangela. So we should be doing a shitload of damage. And this gives me free Rose Raid once again. This gives me free Rose Raid again. And that did more than Regenerator will give him. So we got at least some chip on him at that turn. And so now we go into Rose Raid. And then... do I want to slot spawn on the following turn? The sand does end. The sand does end here. I think I go for the slot spawn this time around. And we do get him off guard there. Maybe he was willing to sack this thing, but now Tangela is gone. And now Choice Padded Diggersby, just like in last 2 weeks, has now all the freedom in the world to click Earthquake. He has Axelgo as a quote-unquote resist, but Tangela was the one that I thought as an actual resist that could really sponge those hits well. And now he does go into the Axelgor, which I don't mind, because I could just damage you again here. But I could also go back to the Send Discourse. I think I go to the Send Discourse. This Rose Raid is way too good for me to allow him to weaken it down at this point of time. So I go into my Send Discourse, see what he does. and proceed from there. He does go for the bug pass, and we'll take this because we are obviously able to resist this hit. And from here, nothing wants to take a Will-O-Wisp. So I will go just for that. As he does hard swap out. Now, is that choiced or not? Because he made that, or is he worried about a flame body? It's one of the two. I have to keep an eye out on potential choiced Axelgo then. Because he didn't go for it. And we do get paralyzed, so that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate, so next time around I need to rest on that. But I go back to the Slowbro and get up my rest. I go back to the Slowbro to get this rest off. As he does hard swap out. Who does he swap into? 2D Crims now, okay. He's Frisk on it, I didn't notice this earlier, so he's not a bulk upset. This could be Assault Vest then. Okay, so I don't have to worry about any kind of setup shenanigans. So I go into my Centiscorch. I'm really glad I see Frisk from his side, that's really important. So we go into the Centiscorch. Ideally we get to get the Flame Body activated. But either way, I will click rest on the following turn. He should not be able to prevent that. Unless he's able to two-shot me. He does go for the Darkest Lariat. Which will hurt. I am defensive, but... yeah, that hurt quite a bit. And I do not get the... I did not get the Flame Body off, which is unfortunate. But I go for the rest. Hopefully we do get it. This is the third time as he's attacking me with a physical move. Do we get to be lucky and bad? We do get to be lucky and bad. Okay, we got the Flame Body off. Now this will be annoying for the Axelgor. So now my RUNERIGUS' purpose comes to deal with that thing if I have to swap in versus it. But now I just go into Diggersby and click Earthquake. Something will die. If he goes for the Sucker Punch, I won't take too much out of that thanks to the burn. So that's pretty nice for us. And we just go for the Earthquake. He should sack this in all intents and purposes, and he doesn't go for the Sucker Punch, so he did not carry it. But we get to kill another more with now Diggersby throughout this season. Choice Banded Diggersby is nothing to sneeze at, and I know Crimson CBAD has been loving to use this thing, so he's not surprised how much work this thing can do in Draft League format. And let's see who does he go into. He goes into Zoomies, which is this Axelgor. I do have the Assault Vest RUNERIGUS right here. And I think I'll go into it initially. He could click Energy Ball, that's why I was debating Rose Raid as well in my head. That I could have gone into as well. We could see Energy Ball. As he does go for the Energy Ball, okay. We take it decently. And at this point I think I swap. Because that could be Specs Axelgor for all I know. So I swap into Rose Red to see if he's choice locked or not. And preserve this thing health. I will think now he's gonna be clicking a potentially U-turn. But let's see. He does click U-turn, okay, so he's not choiced with that thing. He could be also Silver Powder or Heavy Duty Boots. Silver Powder would be boosting bug passes to try to revenge kill the Exotil a little bit to revenge kill the Zeraora a little bit easier, what I was meant to say. But Slowbro is back at full health. So we just go back into it. He might try to start doing some doubles back and forth, and I think that's his only way to really come back on this game. He does go back into Zoomies, which is this Axelgor. Like, this is his best way to really beat me 1v1 right now, but the sand does go away. And he still has his Sand Core alive, so I have to remember that as we go along. I could go into my Rose Raid again, cause it's not necessary anymore. So I go into my Rose Raid to see what he does. I'd rather let the rolls rate now go down, because it doesn't outpace the extra chill or this thing, and it's probably gonna die to a bug boss hit. Especially after rocks. As he does go for the bug boss. And at this point, I could go into the RUNERIGUS. Or I go into the Serra Aura. Can I beat the this is an interesting endgame now. Maybe that Sentis Ghost bothers me that I let it get weakened so easily. But I could go into my Serra Aura and then Slowbro beats the other two. And I think I'll do just that. It's unfortunate because I have the Sugar Berry just for the extra chill, so I have to take unnecessary damage with this thing. But I go for the Plasma Fist to get a huge damage off on him. He could be worried about Fire Punch as well, so he might be preserving this because he needs it for the Slowbro. So I could see him going for U-turn in all intents and purposes, or he does hot swap out. Which is fine by me. Because this enables me to force the extra chill to come in on the following turn. And then I get to pick it up with a close combat. But we go for the Plasma Fist, which should do a shitload to this thing. We might be able to even OHKO it at this point. Yeah, we don't OHKO it just yet. I will not swap my moves off the chance he has to worry about me being potentially choiced. And I think he would let this thing go down, so he gets the extra chill in for free. But now I have to think about the end goal versus the Accelgor. Do I need to keep this thing alive or healthy enough for it? Or what is my best play of choice? I need to check how much the Accelgor would do to me. Now looking at it. Serra Aura versus Accelgor. If he's timid nature, I would need to be above 93 health. He does go into the extra chill. Okay, this is the big turn that I have to decide on, but I think... Where's my Diggersby at? Diggersby. And we put Energy Ball on this. I can still live the hit. Unless he's Expert Belt. So I think at this point we commit ourselves into that. See what he does. He does swap out. Okay. So he's worried about Sugar Berry. That was a good play by him. But I get a nice damage on him at this point. So now what I think I have to do is that I swap into my RUNERIGUS. I think that's my best call right now. Let it go down to it. And then go into Diggersby to Earthquake. I have to keep this thing healthy enough so he can beat at least one of the last two monsters he has alive. This is definitely not over yet. This Accelgor proved to be, as offensive said, too big of a problem when I had still Sentis Ghosts around, but I let it get weakened too easily. And didn't do anything about it. He does go for that. And then the following turn I would expect the Energy Ball to kill, but off the chance it doesn't, I can kill him off with the Shadow Claw. I am Assault Vest with this thing. We'll see if we can live this or not. We do live it because we are a Assault Vest RUNERIGUS. And we do get the Shadow Claw off. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. Okay, the Accelgor is dealt with. The Accelgor has been dealt with. And there comes the extra chill. And we just Earthquake. And as he does go for the Earthquake, finishes us off, so he doesn't try to set up. And I would like to think Serra Aura finishes this game for us. I would like to hope that's the case. I'm not risking a paralyzation. Actually, before I go into it, let me make sure I live this hit. Serra Aura versus the Exochill. Sandras, Adamant Nature. Earthquake would do to me 109. That's actually can kill me at this point, so never mind. We are not gonna go into that. We're just going to Sean and go for this skull. That is our play. Come on, Sean. You can do this. You can do this, Sean. I know you can do it. Come on, Sean. There we go, Sean. Good buddy. Good boy. Good buddy. Takes care of the Exodio, and that is going to be a win for us in 3-0 over Crimson CBAD. I would like to thank the opportunity to get to play him. Obviously, this was a little bit of luck of the draw, way the schedule was handled in the UBL Season 5, that with it being randomized, I get the opportunity to play him. And I really want to thank for being pretty easy to schedule with, and it was a lot of fun to get to play him. I was really nervous for this because I have been watching throughout the years. So it's pretty cool now that I'm here actually playing him and I get to see from his side. And speaking of that, if for some reason you're not subscribed to Crimson CBAD or check out his channel out yet, make sure to do that. I'm sure he has been uploaded by the same time as I am, because I will try to see what time he uploads. So make sure to check from his side and all of his other traffic content, what he is doing from his side. And thank you for watching, and I'm gonna be see you guys later.